7 biggest mistakes men make with women. And I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this since 2012. The number one problem guys have, it's not money, it's not fitness, it's not status, it is about women. It is either they can't get the woman they want, they can't get enough women, or they are going through or in a toxic relationship or trying to get over a breakup. Usually it's the last one. Usually it's getting over this one girl that's got them all messed up. And I would venture to say it's probably most guys' biggest problem, or at least the way that they feel inside. So it's really important to understand what not to do first. Okay, so this is what I want to give you here. So 7 reasons, or the 7 biggest mistakes men make with women. Number 1 is choosing the wrong woman. All right, that's the biggest one. A toxic woman will destroy you, from jealousy to fighting to assaulting you, calling the police, cheating, you name it. Okay, if it is a toxic person, a low person with low empathy, a person who is not happy within themselves and wants to make other people be unhappy, you cannot possibly have a good relationship with this person. All right, you can have good sex. Okay, a lot of guys will be like, this sex is so good. I was like, yeah, she's crazy, dude. The craziest girls are the best in bed. But sex is such a small thing in comparison to the rest of your life, okay? And yeah, she might be really hot too. Again, look at your standards. Look what you're getting into in a relationship. Most guys have looks as number 1. Looks should be like number 5, okay? Under sweet, submissive to you, she respects you as a man, has been waiting for someone like you to come along, okay? She's gonna play her role, and you're gonna play your role as the traditional sort of leader of that relationship, okay? Now look, there's plenty of other relationships out there. There's gay relationships, there's relationships where the woman leads, but I'm talking to you as an alpha male, as a guy who is a go-getter. You need a girl who is happy to play her role and support you in that, and in return, you're gonna protect for her, you're gonna, you'll take her out for dinner, all those other things that we do in a relationship. And, at least for the long term, casual is different, right? Casual is, she just needs to not be toxic, okay? It doesn't matter. You can hang out, have sex or whatever, and she goes home. But in a relationship, you have to choose the right one. And that's a girl who's coming from the heart. She comes with love. Her main priorities are family. She's not career oriented. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not going to be the ideal girl for you. All right, you're going to want that ideal, sweet, loyal, kind, loving girl. And guys, don't listen to all these guys out here who are talking about Western women are the devil. And I lived in Toronto. There were plenty of nice girls in Toronto. I live in Thailand now. There are nice girls here. There's nice girls everywhere. You just have to really do your homework. You have to really pay attention. You have to really be able to read women to tell when someone's telling you the truth and someone's not. If you want to see more how to do that, check out my video series on how to avoid toxic women. It's 4 parts. There's a lot of stuff covered there. Number 2 mistakes that guys make is accepting consistent drama as a natural part of relationships. I would see this, especially when I was younger, guys would just be fighting with their girlfriends at home, fighting in public. And I would think, what are you doing? Like, how does that add value to your life? I would work even with sales guys who were in their 30s, and I could tell, oh, Adrian got in a fight with his girlfriend this morning before he went to work. That happens 3 days a week. And his first thing when he comes into the office is, no one talk to me right now. It's like, he's not even able to hide that and put on a good face because his life is so messed up and he's in this constant dramatic roller coaster. All right, you're better off being single than being in a consistently dramatic relationship. Okay, now just because it's dramatic doesn't mean she's toxic. Okay, it just means you haven't set the expectations and you haven't been leading the relationship like you should be, and providing like emotional guidance and bringing both people down back to a place of calm and reasonableness. And if you have a problem, being able to discuss that reasonably. Okay, that there does not have to be consistent drama. All right, and you can see how to do that in my screening guides. But that is a huge mistake, and you can't have a happy relationship, even if it's with someone who's a relatively good person. If you are constantly fighting with each other and creating drama, it's impossible. Number 3, starting a family before you can afford it. Ooh, that'll get you. Either on purpose or by accident, where you accidentally come inside of her and she accidentally didn't take her pill that day, or the pill didn't work. Okay, there's really no accident. Is you made a dumb mistake and she made a dumb mistake, or you chose to have kids too early, and that is also a mistake in my opinion. Okay, if you have kids right now, I'm not trying to beat up on you, but I'm telling you guys, it is hard enough. Look at your 20s, okay? It is hard enough to get your income up and then to be able to build a business and get that business up to 6 figures, or you're working in sales, getting that up to 6 figures, getting your side business going, then moving over into your side business, building that up to 6. That's hard, guys. And most people can't do it with ample amounts of time. Add having children into that mix where you can't sleep for the first 2 years and you have to provide for them. I mean, that right there will stop a lot of guys from starting a business, because you have a family to take care of and you can't afford any money or any time off away from, your crying newborn and your wife who's exhausted. I'd say 30 is the minimum when you can start looking about getting a family, maybe even 35. I'm 35 right now. I'm still not sold on the idea. That's a lot of work. And if you listen to my man Caleb Jones from blackdragonblog.com, who I recommend a lot, he says that he loves his kids more than anything, but now that they're over 18, once they moved out of the house, his happiness went up dramatically. So I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence on that one, but you can't have kids at 23. I mean, that's crazy, dude. And even at 25, like 30 should be the minimum. That's after you've built up something and you built that successful business and you've got things ready to go. Okay. Because guys, I'm telling you, like, it's so expensive to live, especially if you're in New York or LA right now, like just by yourself. Even if you're making 6 figures, that's still expensive over there. Whereas here in Thailand, it's like $4,000 a month is the equivalent of like 6 figures here. I mean, it really depends on that. And it's like, you got to be 30 or 35 because you need to have dated enough women to know what you like. You need to have experience in relationship management. You need to have experience in drama management, and you need to have money to have a family. And you need to have a lot of money. I promised myself, I grew up poor. I'm like, I'm not having kids unless I am rich, like rich, okay? And my kids aren't gonna have to worry about anything. But otherwise, to me, you gotta be 30, 35 at least before you can. I know it's later, but that's the way the economy is these days, okay? You can't just have that job for life and be able to rely on that and retire with that gold watch and that same house. Those days are done, all right? Number 4, speaking of things that are done, and again, I always get some flack when I talk about this, legal marriage, okay? There's a lot of guys who, okay, if you're legally married right now, I'm not trying to come down on you. And I also accept that, like, for society, quote unquote, under the old traditional marriage system was a lot better for at least raising kids. I don't know if people were happier, but all the studies show that kids who grew up under married parents and parents who stayed together and didn't get divorced on average were happier, okay? I grew up single mother. A lot of my friends are divorced. I can tell you that created a lot of problems. So I am not trying to downplay that, but the legal marriage of your grandparents' generation does not exist anymore. Like, divorce was a once in a thousand, right? It was, divorce, people didn't know divorced people. Okay, now everyone's divorced. I mean, the studies show 50% to even maybe 60% now, depending on where you look. And you don't have to believe those. Just look around with the guys you grew up with. Like, everyone I know's parents were divorced. Okay. Now, what that means is the whole idea of, before you had, the church and you had the social aspects and people stayed together no matter what because they didn't have a social choice. Now we have Tinder, and now we have all these millions of different choices with the feminist revolution, and that changed so many things, so that the legal marriage as it once was, this sort of business contract for raising a family, does not exist anymore. Now there's no difference in my mind between a girlfriend situation and a legal marriage, because it's another relationship now. And some people live their lives in marriages that last a lifetime. Not all those people are happy, but some of them are. But 50%, guys, and 70% of those divorces are initiated by women. And that means that all the money you made that you saved, you know, until you were 30, 35 to have a family, you've built up that business, you made sure your kids and your wife were provided for, that can be gone in the instant in no fault divorce where she can just say it's over. Okay, yeah, I mean, we made this vow and we had a $50,000 wedding ceremony and you bought this house for us, and she has the right to claim half of that plus child support, plus alimony for the rest of her life. Okay, and there's no limit on it.